It's Tom Allray with AVNation with the road to InfoComm. InfoComm 2023 happens the 14th through the 16th of June in beautiful Orlando, Florida. And with me to talk about Just Add Power is the only man in AV who has better hair than me, Mr. Taft Stricklin. How are you, sir?
I am excellent, and you're catching up with the hair growth. So
I am getting there.
Yeah.
But we were joking off the air. You had a head start on me, but
I did.
It's getting there.
I did. So, are you using the mane and tail that I sent to you?
I used it. Probably not in. Yeah, I'm using it, but
Okay, there we go.
it's again not quite as luscious as yours. 1725 is where we will find you. That's where we will find Just Add Power. So this time around, Taft, what are we going to be looking at from Just Add Power?
So we've got a new product in the MaxColor lineup.
Okay.
It's called the Max 2. So we have the Max 1 and now the Max 2. And you can mix and match them with the Max 1. The backbone of our Max product is 4K 60, 444, supports Dolby Vision, HDR10, all the HDR formats over a gig network, over copper.
Okay.
No latency. We're going to be showing some gaming in the booth.
Excellent.
So Max 2 builds off that platform. It adds ARC, audio return channel.
Okay.
So you can pull audio from a display across the network to any other receiver.
Wow.
So you could pull audio back to an ARC amplifier, surround receiver, any number of things. It adds USB-C connectivity. And when we add that, it allows us to utilize the USB port to run a USB camera across the network. Again, it's still on a 1 gig network, and we're full 4K 60, 444 with full certification for Dolby Vision and everything else on a 1 gig network. But we also added an optional fiber port.
Okay.
And just ran into a project where they had something else spec'd from us. They had Max spec'd, and then they ended up putting a couple of Max 2 pieces in because they had one particular place all the way at the back of the building that was an addition that was 950 feet away.
Oh.
That they needed to have 2 projectors. And rather than going to something more expensive, they pulled a couple of pieces of fiber and bammo.
Yeah.
So just all part of the system and a piece of cake. So in that case, they had to power it locally as versus using PoE because we haven't figured out how to magically run power over fiber yet. But I'm sure somebody's working on that. So that's what we'll be showing. My smiling face and other familiar smiling faces in the booth. Slight booth redesign. You'll be able to see Max side by side with a direct source. And you'll be able to swing by and play a video game or two and check out latency and USB connectivity.
That's pretty cool.
We're looking forward to, the sunshine and paying $8 for a bottle of water in Orlando. That's the happiest place on earth.
You keep saying this water thing. I drink nothing but coffee the week of InfoComm, so that I don't even know what the cost of water is that week. Coffee, I can tell you, is about $4.50 down there.
I alternate between the two. So
really quickly, because you mentioned something interesting there. What does that fiber addition give you? I mean, it sounds like it's going to expand even more opportunities for you guys, and by extension, more opportunities for the dealers in your network to kind of leverage Just Add Power in more than just the 1 gig network space, where now they can send it farther than the limitations of that copper has. But now they can start leveraging it and expanding out beyond those physical limitations of copper.
So, we've seen a lot of projects where they'll fiber link switches and have multiple switch points. But it never fails, fairly often we find somebody who just everything's within reach of copper distance except for this one thing, right? And whether that's the, additional amphitheater on the back of the building that needs 2 projectors fed, or the signage out at the road with a video board. And those are the types of things that we've seen. So in this design, our engineering team looked at it and said, well, if we're going to do this, we should go ahead and look at doing this and see. So, people are still hugging and kissing and loving on pulling copper because it's cheap, it's easy, it's reliable, and it carries power.
Yeah.
Right. And pulling fiber is not cheap, and fiber switches are quite expensive.
Yeah.
And I have another application where they just used it for a point-to-point over 1,300 feet. So just a piece of fiber and 2 of our boxes, and bammo, they had exactly what they needed below budget. So
That's awesome.
yeah, pretty great.
All right, 1725 is where we will find you, and where you and I will get to play a video game, but not everybody's going to InfoComm Taft. So if they're not going and they want to follow along everything that Just Add Power will be talking about that week, how do they do that?
Our website, justaddpower.com, which is just completely redesigned, and our team did an awesome job on it.
Very nice.
So there, and then we are on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter. Twitter's still open. That's right.
Yeah,
and yeah, so all the socials, just under our name, Just Add Power.
All right, very good. Taft Stricklin, Just Add Power. Thank you so much. We'll see you at InfoComm. For us, for AVNation, go by our website, avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv. Follow along as we also head to Orlando for InfoComm 2023, the 14th through the 16th of June at InfoComm 2023. All that and more at avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv.